Hey everybody, my name is Chris Oliver. I am a musician, and some of you may know me from the band Cody Stagefright. I play drums,
All right.
and
So
I'm happy to be here.
how long have you been playing drums for?
Well, I grew up in a musical family. My dad plays drums, and a few of my uncles and a few cousins play drums. I started playing drums around the age of 4, and I've been doing it ever since. I picked up other instruments in my teen years, but primarily I'm a drummer. That's my main instrument.
So did you start on drums or?
Oh yeah, I started on drums. I didn't
Uh,
realize that I could actually play other things until I was about 15 or 16.
Very cool stuff. So how long have you been Cody Stage Fright for?
Well, Jim Woolsey, the singer, and myself, we formed the band probably summer of 2005, and we've been through many lineup changes. First, we started off just as a duo, just the two of us, and then we met Volcano about a year later at an open mic, and he joined the group. And then we had a revolving door of bass players until we found Derek Harrington, who is now our lead guitar player. But he was originally started off on bass, and then we had another bass player named David Ross for a while, and he recently left the group about a year or so ago. And now we have Jacob Ficken, who's our bass player, and hopefully we have the cemented lineup of Cody Sage Fright.
Hopefully, I saw you guys at 34 Voices or CD release signing party. I'm sorry, while back,
Yep.
not that long ago actually. You guys just recently released a CD, right?
Yeah, what was it? Well, I'm gonna ask my voice of reason over here if she kind of remembers. When did Pink Iguana come out again?
The day after your birthday.
So yeah, my birthday is April 15th, and yeah, the record came out on the 16th. You can tell that I'm good with
that was
dates.
bad.
I have too many musical endeavors going on to remember when things come out. So
It's a great CD. I personally like it. One of my friends who's actually really big into rap really likes it too.
cool, awesome. It seems like we're pretty lucky that it seems like we get people that are like strictly metalheads that were like, oh man, a group with a rapper or funk elements. That's not my thing. And then they come see us live or they hear the record, they're like, oh wow, this is really cool. And then we have the people that are strictly into hip hop that you wouldn't think would be into the instrumentation of a rock group, and they dig that too. So it's a cool thing that we can bridge kind of gaps like that.
Definitely, it's a really cool band. I'm definitely a fan.
Thank you so much, Nick.
So you have your solo project, right?
Oh yeah. I've been doing music under the name of the Solar System for about 10 years now. I didn't actually go under that name until about 5 years ago. I was just putting out things in my own name, but I decided that was kind of boring and kind of give it more of an identity as opposed to just Chris's record or whatever. So, but yeah, I started recording on my 4-track when I was about 15, and just kind of learning how to write songs. My early recordings are, pieces of crap that no one will never hear, hopefully. But, since I've gotten pretty serious about my own solo music, I've released about 9 records in the past 5 or so years. And I'm currently working on building both the band's status and my own, really, hopefully getting something going here in the near future.
Very cool stuff. Where can the viewers take a look at that?
The solo music, you can go to, I'll try to say this clearly because it's kind of a mouthful, www.thesolar.bandcamp.com. You can also look up, if you type in the Solar System and then my name, Chris Oliver, on YouTube, there's about 10 or so kind of experimental, not animation, but a friend of mine does artwork. Her name's Mickey, and she put her artwork along with my music so you can find some music. And then for the my girlfriend's trying to open up a pop and not be too loud about it. Just go for it. For the band, you go to www.codystagefright.com. We also have, if you type in Cody Stagefright on YouTube, there's tons of live videos and little goofy things we put up. And we're on Facebook, Cody Stagefright. And if you want to find me personally, just Chris Oliver on Facebook. And that's about it for links that I can think of off the top of my head.
Very cool. Thank you. What do you think about digital media? Do you think it's going to take over CDs?
I think it already has pretty much. I mean, the only people that this is my opinion, and it's my opinion. So for I don't know who's gonna see this, but I don't want to start any big huge debates here. But the people that I know that still buy records, like actual CDs, are music fans like myself, hardcore music fans, and then like my parents. They don't know how to use iTunes or don't know how to download things off the internet. But I personally think the digital realm is cool and it's not cool, and I'll try to not make this a 10-hour long explanation. I think it's cool. I think it's cool because people like me that really don't. I mean, speaking for my solo music, I mean, Cody's got a pretty decent fan base locally, and people bought the records and stuff. But for my own stuff, I'm relatively unknown, so I can easily just put out a free album on Bandcamp or put something up on SoundCloud, and I can hopefully spread it around and people will dig it and download it and spread the word. So that's cool for, little guys like me. But then, I mean, if you want to make a living at it, and it's so much easier to just go on a torrent or go on some site and just download something for free. So, I mean, the artists that really want to do it, to be able to survive off music, I think that's I think that's pretty much impossible these days unless somebody in the big bad record industry figures out a way to combine the two, and they're dinosaurs stuck in the old school way of thinking, and record industry keeps plummeting down and down and down. And I read somewhere recently that they say that vinyl sales have gone up, but even now if you really dig deep into that, the vinyl sales have been going down as well because collectors buy it, and so it's a twofold. It's a great thing for the little guys for exposure, and I think it's negative because anybody that has a computer can pretty much steal your record.
Oh yeah, definitely. So,
hopefully they can figure something out because I'm down with. I love being able to just readily get a record like at a snap of a finger, but I also like to support the musicians that I love. With whatever money I can.
So a question that kind of leads into that a little bit is, do you really think that a band needs to be on a label in order to make it? Or could they be self-managed and self-produce and record their own album and release it?
Oh, no. A major label, I don't know what, I'm business retarded when it comes to that stuff. But I mean, back in the 60s and 70s, you couldn't make it unless you're on Capitol Records or Atlantic Records or something, So I think in the early days of rock and roll, I definitely think you have to have some kind of major label push to get, have, besides the money factor. I mean, their promotions, getting you out on tour. And now that, thanks to the internet and you being able to spread your name out to anybody, and I think, thanks to the whole indie rock thing that happened in the 80s and, all the punk bands, kind of forging their own way and, finding tour routes for all the little guys to follow. You can just pretty much get a van and go out on your own and do it and press your own CDs, make your own shirts. I mean, you have no middleman. So in the long run, if you're actually doing well, you're making more money on your own than you are going through a big conglomerate like Warner Brothers or something. So I definitely think nowadays in 2011, you can definitely, if you really want it bad enough and you're willing to work, because you definitely have to work harder. It's not, I mean, I'm learning that the hard way. I thought, me 5-6 years ago, I'll put my music up on MySpace and someone's going to hear it in 6 months and I'm going to get signed and I'll be rich. Yeah, rock and roll.
That's not how it works. Most record companies...
28 years old, and I'm barely scraping by. So you definitely have to put in the work, and there's a lot more to it now than just making the music. I mean, for me, it sucks because I'm the type of guy that's, all about the music and just wants to, spend all his energy in the creative process of making the music. But now, you got to think of a way to brand yourself and, come up with a cool logo and make some cool videos to hopefully go viral on the internet or, stuff like that, which is, I think is cool. But I mean, my mentality is slowly warming up to having to grasp it. There's a lot more than just going down to the basement or into your studio and writing a song and putting it out and going, okay, hopefully people are going to download this and like it. It's a lot more work than just doing that.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of work involved.